Welcome to How It All Started podcast in North Iowa. My name is Erick Nganyange. I'm your host, and my guest today is the owner of the Elite Boxing Academy, Mr. Mark Sainci. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Man.
That was good.
Elite Boxing Academy.
Yeah.
Talk to me how this whole thing started. When did you ever dream to start Boxing Academy?
I was at my homeboy's Greg's house. That's where I used to get my haircuts at. Here in Mason City back then. And I ain't been living here for that long, but back then there wasn't really a black barber shop here to get haircuts.
Shout out to Greg, though.
Yeah, so my boy Greg, I would go to his house all the time and get a haircut. And then I used to train somewhere as well when I was just preparing to fight. And I sitting down there getting my haircut, and I was telling Greg, man, this is what I want to do, man. I want to open up my own boxing gym. I want to have a spot to where I can train the way I was actually brought up, because the place where I'm training at right now is not cutting it. It's not how you supposed to be training. It's not a bad spot, but it wasn't just...
Was missing something.
It was missing something. Yeah. It was missing flavor. It was missing home. It just wasn't cutting it. So sitting in there, getting my hair cut, and he's like, man, just go ahead and open it up. I was like, man, I bet you'll be hard. But he's like, bruh, just go ahead and do it and see what happened. The rest is history.
How long ago was that? How many years ago?
8 years now. 8 years.
So you brought up in the boxing world?
I was brought up in a fighting game.
Just boxing or kickboxing? What type of fight?
Shoe fighting, mixed martial arts. So this is back in the days when UFC wasn't UFC and UFC was just getting going.
How old are you when you start getting into fighting world? Were you doing this when you're a kid?
Yeah, man. So me and my brothers and my cousins, we all been doing this since we were little kids. It's just been in us, and it's been in, I guess, my mom's boyfriend, or at the time was, boyfriend, like his brother was the main one that got everybody into this whole fighting, WWF, shoe fighting, all that. He's the one who got everybody into it. At that point, as little kids, we would go to the gym all the time, and it all started off doing like karate, jiu-jitsu, and at that time, we didn't even know what it was called. You know, me and my brothers, we just would, do it.
Just love to fight.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily fighting, just necessarily learning the combative sport of jiu-jitsu. So we didn't know it was called jiu-jitsu. For us, it was called shoe fighting. When we go to practice, we would just go to practice, and we would just probably call it, we're going to karate practice. Because, we would literally, when we go to practice, we would be in our karate gis and stuff like that, and we would be doing gi, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But again, we're not knowing what it's called, if that kind of makes sense.
Do you remember how old you were the first time you got in the ring?
The first time I got into the ring?
Yeah.
So, So the first time, like competing or just in general?
Just in general, that first time, because you start training and you and your brothers, but the first time you got in the ring, it's like, oh man, I can do this.
Okay, so the first time I've actually got into the ring to actually compete was probably when I was, I want to say in college.
Okay.
In college. So again, I've been training since I was a kid, but I didn't compete until about college time.
But at that time in college, you kind of already had the skills.
Oh yeah.
You knew.
Yeah, I had the skills I had already because, I was doing it as a kid. I wrestled a little bit in high school as well too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, the whole fighting game, and the way my life and me and my brother was brought up, it was always back and forth. There was days we were in the gym, there was months we were in the gym, there was time we were in the gym, and then there was time that we weren't in the gym at all. You know what I mean? But for my cousin, they really, really excelled in that sport that they were in because, that's with their dad. Their dad, so they're in there 24/7. Yeah. But with us, with my mom, my uncle would get mad that my mom would take us out. So there'd be times that we're in it, and then times that we weren't in it. So we didn't really stick to it until by the time we got into high school and then out of high school, and that's when we really just stuck with it.
Okay. So you are not really, unless for the people who don't know you, you are not real surprised that you're here. Because you've been
Nah.
This is your whole life. Like you've been built.
I'm not surprised. We've been built like this. You know, I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was just talking to my brother the other day. We were in the weight room and class is going on. And I think I almost had a tear just shed because I'm looking at everybody lifting weights. And then he comes up to me, he's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, bro.
Can't believe I'm here.
That's how I said it. I was like, bro, I can't believe we here. Like, he goes, dog, I know, man. I was like, everything that we've been through, the fighting thing, you know, the house thing, you know, just how my parents used to go to Haiti and don't come back for like 2-3 months. And it wasn't their fault. It's just the way that life crumbled. And then to be here now in this building to what we have. And I say, you know, it's not just myself. It's not only for me. It's bigger than that. This whole building belongs to me, my kids, my brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So your parents from Haiti? Originally?
Yep.
Okay.
Both of them, yeah.
Okay. When did they come to the States?
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell
you. You were born and raised in Florida?
Yep, born and raised in Florida.
Not a Dade County, too, are you?
Nah, no Dade County.
Okay.
I'm a Polk County brother. Polk County.
So when did you come to Iowa?
I came here to Iowa probably maybe 07, 08.
Okay.
Around that, 06.
Okay.
Probably around that time.
And you went to college for?
Physical education. Yeah.
Oh, man. So this whole thing was kind of lined up. You already knew exactly what you want to do.
No, not really. I tried to pick a major in college that I thought that I could probably go back and be a PE teacher. You know what I mean? That was my, I tried to pick a subject that I thought was easy that I'm going to go to college. I'm going to pick this, you know, major that's going to be easy for me, not too hard, and we're going to go with it. I mean, then when I get done, I can go back home and I could be a PE teacher because that's what I figured that I wanted to do. But at the time still, it's not what I wanted to do. You know? So
after, let me go back a little bit.
Yeah.
From Florida, how did you pick Iowa?
I graduated in 2003, right? 2003. When I got done with school, I got recruited to go to University of Dubuque. But I had an old lady that I couldn't leave. We weren't together, but I couldn't leave her. But at the same time that I couldn't leave her, I felt like I couldn't leave my family and I couldn't leave my little brother because my little brother was going to be a senior in high school as well. And he wrestles. And he needed, you know, training partners and stuff like that. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to leave right now. I made a bunch of excuses to the college and this and that. Did not end up going. Didn't go at all. I stayed. Then I went to a couple community schools, whatever like that. And it wasn't really...
In Florida?
Yeah. They weren't really even community schools. They were basically like tech schools, whatever. You know, so I went there to do something with computers.
Just killing time.
And I went there just to kill time. And at the same time I was doing that, I was helping my brother with wrestling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh. So you got recruited to University of Dubuque to do what?
To wrestle.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow. So you were that good in high school?
I don't know if I was that good in high school. I think I was just an athlete. I think a lot of people could say I was good, but me mentally,
I mean, to the point to get recruited.
Yeah, but I also think though, you know, my coach. It's always good to know people. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And my high school coach, man, was a really good coach. He was a really good guy, and he cared about his kids.
Yeah.
On the mat, and he really did care about. And his name was Moskowitz too, Coach Moskowitz. But he really cared about me and Anderson and Gaddafi. He cared about us, and he just knew our situations and stuff like that. So when that college came out here to recruit, whatever like that, he goes, "Hey man, I got this guy here too that you guys should look at." And they looked at me too, whatever like that. You know what I mean? And they told me, it was like, if you make it to States, we'll grab you. And then I was short coming to States, but they still came back like, we'll see what we can do. Huh. So again, I didn't end up going, and I just stayed. And then, yeah.
So when did you make a decision like, you know what, I got to get out of Florida?
Well, so finally the senior year, my brother's year, whatever, wrestling, he was going to States, whatever like that. He was getting recruited by another school. Then I was like, man, if you finna leave, I want to up and leave too. And then the girl that I was talking to at the time too, she was playing games, she was doing stupid. I was like, man, I just got to up and leave.
Yeah.
So the opportunity came again. Well, University of Dubuque was like, hey,
we still want you.
If you want to come on. Send me the papers, tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to sign them, and I'm going to go. And that's what happened. They told me what to do. I filled out my papers. I sent all my transcripts in, and yeah.
You got into University of Dubuque. You stayed there for 4 years?
So I stayed there for 3 years, and then I had a little hiccup with my parents. My mom was going through some trouble at home, and I was like, man, I got to go home. So I ended up leaving school, packed up everything, and I had to go home and take care of some business at home, and had to take care of my parents.
Okay, and then you came back.
Yep.
After that,
then I came back.
Did you come back and finish it up? Whatever you had left. So from Dubuque, how did you end up in Mason City?
Yeah, Mason City. So that's another funny one. So once I got done with Dubuque, right, I went home back to Florida with my girl. She didn't like it. She didn't like being home in Florida. She didn't like the atmosphere. She didn't like the bugs. She didn't like basically the predicament that she was in with my parents. Again, my parents are from Haiti, so they didn't really too much care about the way they was living because they come from worse than that.
From worse, yeah, worse.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they didn't really too much care. But Kate, on the other hand, she cared about all that.
So this your girl from Dubuque at university.
Okay.
I want to make sure we don't make
This is her.
Okay, so after you guys graduate, you moved with her.
Yeah, back home. She moved back home with me to Florida.
Okay, is she from Iowa?
She's from Iowa.
Okay.
So within that first couple months, I think we probably moved to Florida. Listen, I think we moved to Florida probably. Let's say I'm gonna just give her a date. Yeah. Probably let's say June. Let's just say June. She moved in June, and she left Florida probably in September. She had to leave. Yeah. So then she went back. I drove her back, whatever like that, and we spent 1 year apart. And during that time, she was going to go back to school to be a paramedic. And she was in Dubuque trying to be a EMT / firefighter. So the whole goal was for her was, okay, if I get a job here, if I do this, if I do that, if I do this, would you come back? And I said, yeah, I'll come back.
So she moved back to Dubuque.
Okay. Yep, she moved back to be with her sister, and she did all her requirements. So she got a job here in Mason City. She told me about it. She got hired as a firefighter. I said, I guess I got to move back. So the next goal was if you find a house, I'll move.
Were you just putting these roadblocks because you did not want to come back to Iowa?
Oh, man, I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back. Why would I want to come back to Iowa? I mean, when we could just stay home in Florida. So, yeah, I was putting up a bunch of roadblocks, and she was knocking them down. And she finally found the house. Well, I found the house, and I was like, hey, man, go look at this house in this town here and tell me what you think. She goes, look at it. She hits me up. She goes, it's a beautiful house. It's cool. I like it. And then, boom.
And then you moved back.
I moved back.
What's the first thing you're doing? What type of job you're doing? Because at that moment you're moving back, you still have that dream of opening up your own gym.
No,
you don't.
I don't have no dream of opening up a gym yet. No.
Okay, so you coming back in your mind, you're going like, okay, what am I going to be doing in Mason City?
Okay, first of all, my first experience here in North Spring was funny as hell. All right.
Oh, so you guys moved to North Spring? It's not even Mason City.
Yeah, I moved to North Spring. So I moved back home to Florida, like I said. I spent all my time, my year and a half, 2 years there, and all I'm doing now is just training every single day, every other day.
Wrestling?
Yeah, with my cousins.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing, MMA, boxing, whatever. My brothers, we're just training every single day. So now my mindset is like, you know what? I want to fight. I want to pursue the family tradition of everybody just fighting. So during that time I was down there too I'm training, I'm fighting. Now my uncle's trying to put shows together. And during those times he's trying to put shows together, you know what? I'm trying to fight in these shows, but I'm also backing out of them. This whole fighting game, it all has to do everything with your mental aspect. Yeah. My mental aspect of everything was not there. I got a lot of hype I got to live up to because who I'm with and who the family's with. You know what I mean? I'm part of a legacy of fighters, you know what I mean? So that's a lot of pressure.
Why was your game off?
It's not that my game was off.
Mentally, you were not there?
Nah.
Were you focusing on other things? Mentally, that's why you couldn't.
Nah,
really
it's
get
not that I was
plugged in.
focused on mentally on other things. It's just mentally. It's just
You are now okay.
it's either you got it or you don't. It's either you have it or you don't. You know what I mean? Skill wise,
you're good.
I got it.
Yeah.
Mental wise, that's a problem. That's always been a problem with me, even with me wrestling in high school, wrestling in college. You know what I mean? The mental aspect was not always there. So we get the training. I'm training hard, training every day. And now I'm getting ready to move and leave. I've already backed out of like 2 or 3 fights that my uncle put me into. I've already backed out of those, made excuses, and I backed out. Now we fast forward. I'm moving. I'm getting ready to move back to Iowa because Kate find a spot, right? Yeah. I can remember the last day that I had practice at the gym. I had my last practice there, and I'm feeling good. I can remember I was like, I'm excited, and I got done with it. And I left with being excited. But I can remember me sitting on the bench, and I'm sitting on the bench, R.I.P. my uncle, but I can remember him walking towards me, walking by me, and as he's walking by me, he stops, because I'm finna move. Mm-hmm. He stops, he looks at me, and he goes, "You're just a waste of talent." And I looked at him, "You're just a waste of talent. You're not gonna do nothing."
Yeah, you got training all these years, and then you're gonna up and move.
You're just a waste of talent. That's all you are. And I looked at him, man, and I didn't say nothing, because you can't say nothing to him. If you know my uncle, man, if everybody knows my uncle, man, he is like a president. He had that
aura on him.
He had that.
Yeah. And this is on your mom's side or your pop's side?
This is my mom's boyfriend's brother.
Okay.
He's
the guy who introduced you.
That got everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yes. So, and he's my uncle because on my brother's side. So that's my brother, my little big brother. That's basically, that's his real uncle. And that's his dad's brother, you know what I mean? So, of course, his family. When it's Haitians, his family. Yeah. So I just looked at him, man, and I just I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't say nothing to him at all, but I knew I cried inside. I knew I cried inside, and I cried hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he just walked away. And when he walked away, everybody was coming up. Like, what's wrong? I was like, "Hey, man, Uncle just said this to me." And when I told them that, they looked at me and they're like, "Oof." That even hurt them. They're like, "Oof." Well, I felt that for you, Mark. Yeah. I mean, he is kind of telling the truth, but man, I felt that for you. I get in the car and I drive home. It's like a 45-minute drive. And I call Kate real fast. And I tell Kate, hit up Kate. And I was like, "Hey, man." And I tell her what happened and tell her what she said. She was like, "Oof, I know that hurt. Mm-hmm. I know that hurt, Mark." And I remember the day when she came and picked me up. When she came and picked me up and we were driving to Iowa, whatever like that. That's the only thing I could think about. And I was, at one point in time, I think I was just busting out in tears and I was just crying. And she was like, "Man, don't let him get to you like that." I was like, "Man, do you not know who he is, though? That those words right there, those are just going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And they were just going to haunt me for the rest of my life."
This here is the response to that.
Oh yeah, that's not even it. That's not even the response to it, man.
Yeah, because we're gonna get to him. Because I'm real curious to know after you open this up, what did he say if he was still alive?
That's not even the response. My response was when I got here to Mason City, man. My goal and objective was to find a gym. That was it. That was it. My goal was to prove him wrong. My goal was to not only prove him wrong, but I just had to prove to myself that I can do this. I have to. I have no choice but to do this because the way I was just brought up, this is all I got. This is all I got.
Yeah,
so
that speaks the bigger picture of the people we look up to. They will say one thing and it's going to put a battery on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know if he didn't say that, what shape it will take your life.
Oh, absolutely. If he never told me that, I probably wouldn't even attempt to fight. I probably would never attempted to fight. I probably would never opened up a gym, leading me to open up a gym. I probably just would have just stayed busy, just working in the factory and not caring. You know what I mean? But because he said that you're a waste of talent, that fueled me. And I remember the first day, here's a stupid thing about Norris Springs. I don't even know about Mason City. But the first day I moved to this place, I don't know nobody. I get to the house is empty. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning. Again, I don't know nobody now. Kate goes to work. She goes to work. She leaves me in the house. I wake up and I just decide to go walk to the gas station. I walk to the gas station to go get me something to drink or whatever like that. And I'm getting ready to check out. And the lady at the register said, "Oh, are you that new guy that just moved down the street?" I'm like, well, how?
I just got here yesterday.
It ain't even been 24 hours. I was like, yeah. I live. She goes, oh, I know your wife is a five. What? Like, yeah.
That's the good thing and bad thing about small town, man.
Bro. So I told Kate right away, I was like, hey, I ain't even been here that long and people already know who I am, who you are. She goes, yeah, that's what it is about small town. I was like, I ain't even gonna like it. So, man, right away, man, I started looking up places to go work, and I found a place working at Four Oaks.
Okay.
And I remember my interview there, and I'm walking around. They're showing me around the place, and the lady knew about a guy that worked there, too, that was training mixed martial arts as well. So she went to go introduce me to him. And she introduced me to this guy. I walk up to him. I'm such and such, and she was like, "Hey, Mark is a fighter here," and I was telling him that you fight as well too, this and that, and he's like, "Yeah, we do this, we do that, whatever, blah blah blah." But he exchanged numbers. He goes, "Yeah, we have practice here, we do this here, whatever. I see when you get there." I was like, "All right, bet, okay."
Yeah. So was it looking at you like, "No, you're not built for this"?
Yeah,
type of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'm a joke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Okay, so I get the number, whatever, and I finally meet them at their little spot in the garage. I remember my first time in that garage. I walk in that bad boy, and they're like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hi, my name's Mark," and like, "Oh, this is this and that, whatever." So they put me in there so I can spar somebody real quick. I was like, all right. So I put my shin guards on, this and this and this and on, whatever like that. And we get to sparring, and I whooped ass. All they can do was open up their mouth and just drop. Who is this kid with these boxing skills, stand-up skills? And ever since then, I made a lot of good friends. And then here's the funny thing, too, man. Hopefully a lot of other people are going to be hearing this podcast, too. But a lot of people ain't going to tell you the truth. But hopefully they hear it. I opened up their eyes. A small black kid from Florida that just popped up here. They were shocked. They were super shocked.
With this much skills.
Oh yeah, they were super shocked. That from that point on, man. From that point on, the buzz was running through Mason City. The buzz was running through Mason City.
Yeah. You heard about this kid?
Yeah, they thought I was the guy. Again, I told you when I first met him at the job. You know what I mean. But then after that, everything turned around the corner. Then that gym became. Again, that gym was already there before I got there, but it wasn't that many people there. It used to be, but not that many people. But because my name was flowing through and who I was, whatever, everybody wanted to see who this black kid from Florida was.
And was this in North Springs or in Mason?
In Mason.
Okay.
In Mason. Okay. Oh, yeah. Every other night or whatever it may be that I was there, man, the place would get packed. People would just come in just to see me spar.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Are you getting paid at this time?
No.
Are you doing this? You just getting your name out.
I'm just an amateur. I don't even have a fight yet. I have nothing yet, whatever like that. But the gym helps me. Within the time that I spend there, whatever like that, they finally they're getting ready to put a show in Mason City. So they helped me find a fight. They helped me get a fight. So I finally get my first fight. I get my first fight, and I'm fighting under this gym, whatever like that. Man, it was years ago, too, man. I remember that night. It was a good fight. All my peoples came down from Dubuque that I went to college with.
Really?
Yeah, everybody came down to watch me, came to support me, and I got me a first-round knockout. It was a knockout.
Wow.
I knocked him out cold. I knocked him out so cold that, I mean, he's my buddy now. We're actually cool friends now, you know what I mean? But I knocked him out so cold that his mom was even yelling at me and cussing me out outside the cage. I was like, man,
this is a fight.
Yeah, what you want me to do?
You get in the cage, you don't know what's going to happen.
And then all the people that they tried to get me to fight, whatever like that, I had no fights at all, but they didn't want to fight me.
Oh, after that?
No, before that, there was a bunch of other fights that they were trying to get me to, like, I was trying to fight this one kid that lives here in town. That he had a bunch of fights too, whatever like that, but he didn't want to fight me.
Well, yeah. because you just upcoming.
I don't even know what it was.
I mean, because there's a huge risk on that. If you already had a whole bunch of fights and you got this upcoming fighter and you look at him, size him up, you'd be like, well, but I don't want this guy to get one fight and knock me out.
But I was 0-0, you know what I mean? So who knew what the excuse was? But from that point on, everything was history, man. Everything was history. Got my first fight in. I remember me calling my uncle, telling my uncle that, and he congratulated me, you know what I mean? And then from that point on, man, all the fights that I had, all the fights that I won and stuff like that, I would always tell my uncle, you're the main one that I call and talk to about, and he would always congratulate. I heard you out here, you're doing good job, about time, this and that, you know what I mean? So
how important was that first call for you to call him up and tell him, hey, I had my first fight?
Very important. It was very, very important for me to tell him and my cousin about the fight. I just had to, whatever like that, and they were just really proud of me. They just knew. They're like, I knew you had it in you, man.
Yeah.
You just had to finally let it go.
Now you're doing the fights, but when did you start training other people? To do the fight before you even open up your own joint? So
during that time frame, I'm with this gym that I'm training at, whatever like that. I'm also helping them out as well. We're just helping each other out. Here's the sad thing too. It has some good talent. It has some good talent in there. You just had a coach that honestly did not know how to manifest. I'm not saying he was a bad coach, whatever like that, but he doesn't know how to be a mixed martial art coach. He doesn't know how to tap into mentally. People think coaching is just teaching people this. It's so far. It's much more than just that, man. And the only thing that he was really good at was karate. Karate, and he was good at jiu-jitsu. All right, really good at jiu-jitsu and really good at karate, but could not really transform a fighter. What I'm trying to say is he can't take a person from being ground zero to making them something incredible. All right. He can only take a kid or a person from karate and then just stick with karate. Again, like I said, there's so much more to a coach. And I always tell people too, man, I'm not the best coach out there, but I'm always willing to learn. I'm going to keep learning as a coach today. I'm going to keep learning.
I want to go back a little bit. So you only got one brother?
I got two.
Two brothers?
Two.
Those, both of them younger than you?
Both of them younger, yeah.
Are they still in Florida, or did you move them?
Yeah, they're both here in the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
I got one here in Mason and the other one's in Dubuque.
Okay, and they both doing what you do?
Yep. So again, no, one of them does. My freshman year in college, I decided to try to, because my brother was supposed to go somewhere else to wrestle in college, right? But that didn't pan out. So I chopped up with the wrestling coach, whatever like that. I was like, hey, man, you should get my brother. My brother's really good, this and that, whatever, you know what I mean? That next semester, but he didn't wrestle yet. He came up here with me that next semester, the next following semester, and he just went to a community school. Got his grades up, this and that, whatever. And that next fall, whatever like that, he attended University of Dubuque.
Oh, really?
And he wrestled for University of Dubuque all 4 years. And he graduated with Dubuque with a master's.
Oh, wow.
And he wrestled all 4 years at University of Dubuque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And he's still coaching or
no?
Or
he's doing a lot of big things with the Multicultural Center. He's involved with a lot of stuff in the community.
Good. Yeah. So now you're in Mason City, coaching, training. Now you're thinking about, man, I got to open up my own spot.
All right, so now we're in Mason City for a little hot minute, and I'm training. I got a lot of fights under my belts now, whatever like that. The gym that we're at now, right? Because he ends up moving from the garage to a building. He decides to get a building, so now he's in that building. Within that year of him grabbing that building, man, I don't know his situation and stuff like that, but things started just declining for him financially and this and that, and not only that, man. Things just started declining as a coach with him as well too. So things just wasn't popping off right. Things, just weren't training the way we were supposed to be training and stuff like that. So I decided for myself, I was like, you know what? I want to open up a gym myself that is going to allow me to train the way I'm supposed to train and then train other fighters as well too. Yeah. So that's what I did.
What does the name Elite Boxing mean?
Oh, man. Elite Boxing. I ain't even come up with that name. So the original gym name was supposed to be after my uncle's gym, Tiger's World of Martial Arts. Oh. But we were going to do a Tiger's World of Iowa of martial arts, all right? Okay. So my uncle was going to help me open up a gym. But, you know, things were just happening. They were taking too long to happen. And I'm a very impatient person. So I was like, man, I'm going to just do this on my own. So now I'm just trying to figure out some names and stuff like that. And then my brother hit me up one day, and I'm just trying to come up with a bunch of different names. And he was like, and this is my youngest one, he was like, man, listen, bro, won't you just say that you got elite boxing? You got elite hands, man. Everybody know you for your hands, elite hands. So won't you just say elite boxing? I was like, I like that. Good, yeah. I like that. Because I wanted some other names, but I was like, man, I like that. Elite boxing, huh? And he was like, man, just call it Elite Boxing Academy, man. It's an academy. You got boxing. Everybody know you for your boxing, and your hands are elite. So Elite Boxing Academy. Mm-hmm. I was like, bet, let's run it. So, and that's how Elite Boxing Academy came about.
You had your first location on the 4th Street out there.
Yeah.
Because you started when?
2000, was it 2000? Was it 2016?
Okay.
2000. It's 8 years now, so whatever.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So 2016. Mm-hmm. So how long were you on the old location?
I was there for 5 years.
And then you slowly start seeing how big you're getting.
Yeah, so here it is. Here's a thing that people don't understand, all right? So I'm gonna talk about fitness and boxing. So when it comes to, my whole vision is to have a boxing gym. Okay. You know what I mean? Because where I'm from, to have a boxing gym in every corner, or almost in every corner, that's where it's at. I mean, you got to have something to get the youth off the streets. And that, in my era, that everybody, not saying that everybody wanted to be a boxer, but you had something, Boys and Girls Club, whatever it may be, you know, especially for the black community, you know, instead of having these kids running the streets, now you can go do this and have a safe place, avenue to do it. You know what I mean?
Keep them busy.
Keep them busy. So that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So I decided to open up a boxing gym to get kids off the streets or have something to do. Not knowing as I got older, not myself older, but as I got older into the gym and learning, man, we live in a town to where people say they want to fight, but they don't want to fight. Kids say they want to do boxing, but they really don't want to do boxing. Yeah. It's too hard. I had a young lady that was part of the boxing gym, and she was like a superstar. Like she could have been a superstar. She was really, really good. I probably pushed her too much, whatever like that, and probably ran her out of the gym. And she could have been super, super good. Then I had another young man that was almost there too, but he couldn't cut it mentally. Skill-wise, he got it, but mentally didn't have it.
Is it true in the world of boxing? I think I heard about that from Muhammad Ali, that there's a huge part of boxing is mental.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If you can get, that's why Muhammad Ali was talking a lot of trash in a boxing ring, because if he gets you off mentally, he can easily defeat you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is it? It's 90% mental, 10% physical when it comes to anything with boxing, mixed martial arts, or even wrestling. So that's why I had to switch my role up a little bit, because the years that I spent in there watching guys in and out the gym, my focus was like, okay, you guys don't really want to fight. You guys don't really want to fight. So for me to keep this gym up and running, I got to also focus on fitness.
True.
I have to focus on fitness to keep this gym up and running and up and going, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the first location, there was more boxing than fitness. Or did you do both on that?
I did both. Both. I'm able to do more now here in this gym than I was able to do in the old gym. In the old gym, it was so small that I didn't have enough equipment. I didn't have this to do it. So we did, even for my fitness side, we did a lot of boxing workouts. We did a lot of boxing workouts, boxing. You know what I mean? And then even back then too, at the old gym, I did have a lot of bodies for fighters. I remember, dude, listen, I can remember times where I told we could probably have like 15, 20 guys in the gym. And I could tell them, I could sit down and talk to them and be like, man, this is really cool. This is exciting that we have this many people in here.
Yeah.
but I know we're not gonna have this many people in here. Most y'all gonna drop in
next couple months
and be gone.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the picture like, I want to be a fighter. I want to be a fighter.
But they don't know what it takes to get there.
They don't know what there's no sacrifice. They're not trying to sacrifice. They are just wannabes. But they can.
Because you're doing the whole 9 yard when you're training somebody to fight, from the how to eat well, exercise.
Oh yeah,
how
absolutely.
many times you need
Absolutely.
to exercise. You need to come to the gym this many times.
Yeah, it's a whole journey. You know what I mean? I even had my boy Pete. Pete would help me out with the strength and conditioning part and stuff like that with them. And I still have the struggle today in this gym now. You know, I told the fighters back in the days, man, I told them, I was like, hey, listen, man, if you guys give me a couple years, man, give me some time, stick with me, whatever like that. And I promise you, I'll put us in a bigger building to where when you guys come to the gym, there's never going to be a day where you have to be like, there's a fitness class, I got to go. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a point to where there's going to be a fitness over here and the fighters on this side. There will be no problem. And look where I'm at right now.
That's where, I was about to say, that's exactly where you are.
Look where we're at right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told them this was going to happen, but they didn't believe me. You know what I mean? So now a lot of them are gone. But here's the issue with Mason City. You can walk into any of the gyms that are so-called fighting gyms, walk in there, and I promise you, you probably will only see 2 or 3 guys in there, maybe 1 or 2. And I promise you, there's not going to be a gym here in town, a fighting gym, where you're going to see 50, 30 guys in there. I guarantee you.
Why is that?
Because guys are wannabes. They wannabes. We
don't want to put the work in.
They want to be this. Listen, I seen this caption. And I was going to use it for
motivation.
Yeah, for fighting, right? I plan on posting it one day for fighting, but I seen it it was a wrestling caption, right?
Yeah.
So it says, I have no empathy for part-time wrestlers who want full-time results.
Yeah.
My heart bleeds for full-time wrestlers who get part-time results.
Wow.
Did you hear what that?
Yeah.
Did you hear what that says?
That's deep.
So it's just like these fighters. Listen to it. I have no empathy for part-time fighters. I'm going to put fighters who want full-time results. So these part-time fighters out here, they want full-time results. But yet these full-time fighters can't even get that result.
Yeah. Almost like working part-time when I get paid for full-time.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Man, because that's exactly what it says up there.
Yeah.
Discipline beats motivation.
Absolutely.
All day.
Absolutely.
What makes this gym different than any other gym? Like YMCA, Planet Fitness,
Man, we
NIP.
That's easy. We got swag. We 100% got swag. The difference between me and an NIP, Planet Fitness, and stuff like that is that we got swag. We're not into, I'm saying not into, we're not in the old days. We're not stuck in the old days mindset. You know what I mean? We have culture here. The trainer here have culture. Everybody else don't. They're stuck in their mindset. They're stuck in their ways. Doing this, this has to be done this way, whatever.
Old way of doing things.
Yeah. We live in a generation now where things need to be done different. Things need to be more exciting. Things need to be more fun. Things need to be things need to be done differently.
Yeah.
And when you walk into Elite, I don't even think, in my eyes, you know what I mean, yet, I don't even think it is where it's supposed to be yet. We're not even close to touching the surface of what I want for it to be yet. But when you walk in, it needs to be a wow. Like, this is dope.
Yeah. When P gave me a tour, driving outside, I did not know the gym is this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I walked in, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. See, when I look at gyms, man, I look at gyms that I look up to that are in Florida. I look up to other gyms that are in different states, because when I see them and I'll Google them and I look at them, like,
I want my gym to be like that.
That's dope. When you walk into Planet Fitness, you don't say that's dope. They all look the same. You walk in, it's purple and yellow or whatever color it is, and you see a bunch of treadmills, you see a bunch of this. When you walk into NIP, you don't say that's dope. You don't say that because you see the same thing at Planet Fitness that you see at NIP, that you see at Iron House. You see the same thing. It's machines. It's no knocking on none of them.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to have their own way of doing things, whatever like that. You need to walk into places to any place, it doesn't matter what it is, you should walk in like, that's dope. There's a gym that I look up to, right? It's called Box Rex. It's in Miami, Florida. When you open this door and you walk into this gym in Miami, it's like the lights are low. They got basketball court. Right, you're greeted right away with a nice. Depending on the month, he changes it up.
Yeah,
but it could be a Lamborghini in the middle of the floor.
Of the gym.
it could be a Bugatti. It could be this. But you're gonna be like,
I never seen this close.
You know what I mean? They got a place where you can get a haircut. Their CrossFit area look amazing.
Oh wow.
They got a basketball court area that looks pretty dope. You can go outside in the back and they got gym. I mean, it looks wow.
Talking about something different, let me ask you what these words mean. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Oh, yeah.
That's the sign you got outside your gym.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Be responsible for the energy that you bring in here, man.
You don't want a negative energy.
I don't want that negative stuff, man. Listen, I got a shirt, I got a sweater, too, that I have found that someone else had it on, and I decided to make it. But I'm going to match your energy. All right, I'm going to match that energy. So you decide.
Which energy you want to bring in.
You want to bring in. you act right. You decide how you want to act with me. Yeah. I'm a high energy guy. So when people come to this gym here, they expect for high positive energy. They don't like negative energy. They don't want that. People here, they can tell when coach is having a bad day. They know when I'm having a bad day. Mm-hmm. They know when I'm not doing good. Why? Because they're so used to seeing me having a good positive attitude and energy. So when they know they don't see that.
How do you flip that then when you come? Because I mean, we all have those days. It's like you wake up, you're not in a good mood. And you know, I got to get to the gym. I got people to train. How do you flip that before you walk in the door? Because you got to leave your own words.
I try my best to. I try my best to make sure when I walk through those doors that whatever I had outside those doors, stay outside those doors.
You turn it off.
I turn it off.
How many kids you got?
I got 3.
They're all into martial arts?
They're all into the fighting. I mean,
did they want to be in the fighting? You push them in the fighting.
I don't push. I just nudge. I don't push. I nudge. But
it's hard not to though for your kids because they seen you. Probably they've been coming in the gym with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Since birth.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So some of that stuff is like it becomes natural.
Yeah.
You just all of a sudden you watch them putting gloves on. You be like, okay, here we go.
Oh yeah. They just naturally see that, man. So they've been in the gym since day one. You know what I mean? So none of them right now are into the boxing thing right now, but they're all into wrestling. They love wrestling.
Okay. What time you usually open the gym?
I'm here if I can get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm here about 4:15, 4:20.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Oh wow. You have people coming in that early?
Well, no, they're not here yet. The people don't get here until about 4:45, 4:50, 4:55, 5:05.
Okay.
But I like to get here early so I can zen and get myself ready. You know, I got to mentally get myself ready, prepared to what I'm going to do. Whether I put the music on, I just got to walk around, make sure everything is ready.
If martial arts, karate, boxing, all this stuff did not exist, what would Mark do?
Oh, man. I love football. If I didn't go,
you think you'd be like a football coach or play football?
I probably would be a football coach.
Okay.
You know what? Before the whole fighting thing started, whatever, I've always wanted to be in the NFL, and I wanted to play running back.
Really?
Yeah, and I've always wanted to do something with football. Football was my passion. I just love football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then when I figured that football wasn't going to pan out for me, and I went to the next best thing that I was good at. You know what I mean? And I don't even think I was good at football, man. I was just there.
How long did you play?
Shoot, I didn't play that long. Here's the thing that I'm learning now as a parent. My parents made a mistake with me and my brothers. They never signed us up for any kind of club sports. So the whole time we're kids, we were sheltered. We stayed in the house, didn't do nothing. I'm talking about little kids. Didn't play no sports, didn't play club sports, didn't do none of it. Every summer, the only thing we did was go fishing, ride our bikes, go with our friends. We didn't do none of that club stuff, man. So now as an adult, man, I make sure I sign my kids up for every club sports they can do. So they're going to wrestle. They're going to play soccer. They're going to play all the sports that they want to play and whatnot. And I'm going to be there with them.
How do you define success?
I'll tell you when I get there.
Ooh. I like that.
I'll tell you when I get there.
I like that. I don't think I ever heard that answer before. Yeah, I like that. I never thought about that way. So that will always put drive on you because you're always constantly going.
I'm always constantly going. I mean, you're not the first person that's asked me that. You know what I mean? A lot of people tell me, Mark, you're very successful. And I'm like, nah, I ain't yet.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, man.
When I get there, I'll let you know.
When I get there, I'll definitely let you know, man.
Wow. So did you work at the school district for a while?
Yeah, I worked at the school district for a while.
Okay. What did you do there?
I was a para/behavior specialist. So I worked at the schools for a little bit. I worked at the factory in Charles City for a hot minute. And I hated every minute of that.
Did you hate because you sit there, it's like, man, I'm not supposed to be doing it.
I'm not supposed to be doing it. I already knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it. I was supposed to be fighting. That's my goal. And every place that I worked at, I just knew this is not what I'm. You just know.
You just know this is not what I need to be.
You just know that's what you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And everybody there just knew that that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the hard part because everybody else is excited to be there.
Yeah.
And you.
Oh my God.
Like, man, I'm collecting checks. I got other things I need to be
Listen,
doing.
I'm just here to collect a check, and they are here, and they just.
They're talking about retirement. How
Oh
long
my
it's gonna take
goodness!
them to
I'm
retire
like,
there?
man, I am good, bro. This is not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't plan on being. Hey, listen, I worked at McDonald's for a week. I worked at McDonald's for a week, and Buddy tried to yell at me for cooking the burgers too long. When you work at McDonald's, you sit in the line and you put the patties in the machine and you drop the machine thing down and you're supposed to push the button, and it's supposed to be like for 15 seconds and it cooks the patty. When you lift the machine up and you look at the patty's still pink. It's still pink, so they just tell you, don't worry about it. Just pick it up, put it in the container, and just keep it in got this little heating system, whatever, that it's supposed to continue to cook inside there. And I used to mess up all the time. And they used to, hey, listen, I was so bad that they moved me to the frying area where you fry the fries. I was so bad at that, I just said, I don't plan on doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I quit after 1 week, bro. I quit McDonald's after 1 week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I stayed at the factory for I don't know how many years. And
I mean, if that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, ain't nothing wrong with that.
no, it ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that for me.
Yeah.
It ain't for me. It ain't for me.
Yeah. Today, what excites you more about life?
My kids. I do everything for them. My kids. I probably do things backwards too, man, because you're supposed to do things for your spouse and stuff like that, whatever like that.
Yeah.
But I do everything backwards because I didn't have a dad. So I try to make sure that's what I'm good at.
Dead or alive, if you have to sit down with the one person, have a dinner with them, who would that be?
Okay. Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Dead. Okay, so this is my grandma's brother. All right, my uncle, my grandma's brother. He's dead. I would love to have a dinner with him and just to chop it up with him. The reason being because I wasn't there when he passed away. I was in college when he passed away, and I felt really bad. And how he passed away, he was an old guy, man. I want to say he was like in his 70s or 80s, and he was still out working.
Okay.
He's straight from Haiti, you know what I mean? At that age, too, with him, man, the only thing that they know how to work is going, in the fields, like picking oranges, picking watermelons and stuff like that. And how he died was a freak of nature. They said that he was doing something and the dude backed up and hit him.
Ooh.
And hit him. And that's how he died, you know what I mean? But I used to chop it up with him. When I used to get off the bus, he used to grab my hand. I used to hate it too. I used to freaking hate it. But he used to just grab my hand and hold my hand and sit down and just sit there and just talk to me.
Yeah.
He'd just talk to me about whatever. How's your day? This and that. And he'll just try to, talk to me. So if I could go back, I wouldn't mind walking through that door and him grabbing my hand and sitting me down.
Chop it up.
And chop it up with me.
Man, have you ever been to Haiti?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Haiti. I've been to Haiti once.
Okay. Historical figure. If you have to go back in time and talk to any historical figure in the world, who would that be? You got a few of them on the wall.
Yeah. I probably would love to sit down with Martin Luther King. Just to pick his brain and just see what he meant by all his speeches and just see how life was for him and whatnot. You know what I mean? And you think about it, his death wasn't really that long ago.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? I think Samuel Jackson was he was one of the guys that carried the casket. So you think about that. Samuel, you know what I mean? He's one of the guys that carried the casket. So that's crazy.
If you get a chance to pick the time and circumstance of your death, would you?
No.
No, you'd rather be surprised.
I'd rather, Yep. And if I'm gonna pick a time, and date that I'm gonna die, then brother, I'm gonna pick. I would like to be 200 years old, and I would like to die in my sleep. I'm gonna pick the longest number ever. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna pick 200. 200 years old, right on the dot. The moment I turn 200, the clock strikes 200, whatever, I could die then.
Wow. Besides this time that we are living, what is the other time in history would you ever want to be living?
This time.
This is it?
This is it.
No, I say beside this, Mark.
Nah, this is it. This is it. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is. I feel like my generation. I graduated in 2003. 84, baby.
I'm an 81, baby.
81? Okay. Yeah. I feel like our time
is a great time.
It's the best time.
Yeah, I say that all the time. This is the great time to be alive.
Yeah. Our time when we were born is the great time because there were things happening before us.
Yep.
Before we were born. There were things happening right when we were born.
Yeah.
There are good things, bad things. You know, we got to see everything. The music was good.
Yeah.
The culture was amazing. Everything was I feel like we just got to see the good. We are the middle. And I just feel like, you know, I like it. I like where I'm at right now.
How do you want it to be remembered? What's your legacy? How do you want a legacy to be?
This is what I told my wife. I said, when I die, you could tell everybody that I was, you just let them know that I was the best father ever. You know what I mean? Because that's what I pride myself on. But as far as legacy and stuff goes, man, I think, man, sometimes when I feel like when I die, I want to go out, like, I guess I feel like my uncle.
Yeah.
My uncle. Everybody knew my uncle. Everybody. I mean, when we went to his funeral, it was crazy.
That's the impact he had.
That's the impact he had on a lot of people, whether it was in the fighting community, the fitness community, just he used fighting and fitness and just impacted everybody. Wow. Everybody. So and that's how I feel what I'm doing right now too, is using the fighting and fitness to impact everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I think myself and my team, we're in the right direction.
And you train kids too in here, right?
I train kids, I train them all.
How old do you start?
Well, we start them at 5 or 6. It's just all depending on their mindset. Mindset, ready to roll. You know what I mean?
Okay. The next set of question is going to be rapid question. You just don't think about it. It's just like, you got 1 second to reply.
1 second?
1 second to reply.
I'll try my best.
Dream vacation place?
Dream vacation, that'll probably be like maybe Hawaii, somewhere like the movies, like waterfall is coming down, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Just exotic.
Okay.
Exotic.
Favorite food?
French fries.
Favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time. I don't know if I have a favorite movie of all time, man. Maybe a love movie. I got 2. The Notebook and Love and Basketball.
Favorite historical figure beside Dr. King, because you just mentioned it. Dead or alive. It can be somebody still living right now.
I like my man Bob Marley.
What's your favorite hobby? What's some of the things you do if you're not working out at the gym, you're not training? What's some of the things people will be surprised, like, what Marcus doing?
Well, man, to be honest with you, I just like chilling. I like just hanging out at home. I like chilling, chilling with my kids. Yeah. But one of my favorite hobbies that I used to do all the time when I was a kid, all the way up until college, I used to play NCAA football before they took it away. But that's all I used to do all day, every day. If when I got done with school, got done with practice, I'll be at home working on my franchise or whatever it may be. NCAA. Yeah. And now that they're bringing that back, I told Kate, I was like, hey man, and bringing NCAA back. So you already know
what I'm gonna be
what
doing.
time is it. I'm gonna buy my own new Xbox. I'm gonna be in my room. So when I'm done with work on the weekends, I ain't do it. Y'all, I'm trapped in the room. Leave me alone. The old Mark is back, baby. Yes.
The best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever received was from my uncle. You're a waste of talent.
Ooh, I like that.
Waste of talent.
I like that. Man, bro, you got anything else to add, man? I think that's all I have.
No, man, I really appreciate you putting me on this podcast today. It's been fun sharing all my knowledge and experience that I've had here in Mason City, man. Hopefully we could chop it up again, maybe get Pete on this bad boy, and we could really talk about some Mason City stuff, man. You know what I mean?
For sure. That would be great. Man, that was Mark Sainci, the owner of Elite Boxing Academy.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Bet.